Hey folks, welcome to another WaterTrek 360. This is part one of a three-part series on some wrecks in Roatan. Yes, that is a 3D printer behind me that will play prominently in today's episode, where we are talking about a wreck called Mr. Bud. Hope you enjoy. Roatan is the largest of the Bay Island chain, located 40 miles off the northern coast of Honduras. She sits between the islands of Utila and Guanaja. While none of the original indigenous tribes like the Paya survived, the native islanders, or Garifuna culture, are a mix of Cayman Islanders, Jamaican, and other Afro-Caribbean peoples who are warm and friendly with their own unique music and dance. So on this particular trip, I stayed at a place called Cocoa View Resorts on the southwestern side of the island. I have no affiliation with them. The wreck itself is not accessible from the beach. It is a boat ride. In this particular case, it took about 20-25 minutes from the resort to the dive site, which is in a channel just south of French Harbor. Mr. Bud is a 75-foot shrimp boat. She is sometimes listed as a cargo ship, but clearly she was a Gulf shrimper. She may have done some cargo duties, island hopping, but this is a classic view of a Gulf shrimp boat. For a quick bit of history, Roatan was part of Great Britain until formally ceded to Honduras in 1859. English was the predominant language until Honduras mandated Spanish as national language in 1985 as more and more mainlanders arrived. The English spoken is a variant of the Old English used when it was first settled in the 1500s and 1600s and was then known as a notorious pirate hangout. Coxon Hole was named after pirate John Coxon. Mr. Bud was sunk in its current location by the Cocoa View Resort in January of 2004 after having been pulled from her initial resting place by Hurricane Mitch in 1998. She is located south of French Key in French Harbor and a little west-southwest of the French Key Cut. Unlike the Prince Albert, which we will cover in the second video, this is not a beach-accessible dive and a boat is required, as mentioned previously. One of the knocks on Mr. Bud, besides its size, is that the visibility tends to be poor at times. It is in a cut. When you look at French Key in the harbor, and outgoing tides, there's particulate matter in the water. On this particular day, we had variable clouds, so you see in the video here light conditions that changed a few times from wonderfully sunny light to the darker light that's just much harder on colors. She sits in a sandy channel at 60 feet between two large coral outcroppings and on the north ledge of a wall. She is upright along the reef's edges with a slight starboard list. Bow faces southeast. It's an easy wreck suitable for all skill levels. Depth ranges from 40 feet to well beyond 100 feet if folks stray off the reef and go out beyond her bow, which is on the wall's lip, and then it drops off steeply after that. The only real swim through is the wheelhouse. I mean, being a tiny wreck, it's one of those that once you've done a couple of these, then they try to pull you off and hit the channel as well, since there's a lot of marine life there. Wrecks that have been down for a while, especially tropical wrecks, become living reefs, and we should, as responsible divers, try not to touch, kneel, or disturb the marine life that's growing on them. If there aren't a lot of divers on the wreck, then it's a great wreck to do macro photography, spend some time getting some really great shots. But if there's a lot of divers on it, it can get overcrowded quickly. The coral walls to the northeast are very dramatic and sheer. Dive operators like to focus part of the time off of the wreck and concentrate on the beautiful coral reefs which run alongside. There are plenty of sand dwellers such as jawfish, garden eel, flounder, sea cucumber. And if you're lucky, the occasional Caribbean reef squid. For those who have seen other WaterTrek 360 video, you see that I'm into 360 videography and 3D imaging. This is a wonderful representation of the wreck, and there's a lot you can do with it to capture the essence of a wreck using technology like this. This was done with well over 1,300 photos. I will leave a link in the description as to how you can get this if you have a 3D printer that you want to print it down, and or contact Patric Lengacher, the gentleman that created the image. Well, I hope you enjoyed Mr. Bud. Please check out part 2 when we talk about the DC-3 and the Prince Albert. Do check out Patric's links for the 3D images. And again, until next time, go explore and get wet.